I'm Bob Dion, and I'm owner of Dion Audio. And for 25 years, I've been in the audiobook business, and this is my story.
Bob is one of the finest producers of audiobooks that I've had the pleasure to work with
Oh my God!
in our industry. A lot of people just love him because he's a fun guy, but he knows his craft, and he knows artists. He knows voices.
Wow.
He knows how to get the mojo out of the art. And that's why he and his wife, Deborah, have built an empire in Los Angeles. And their work and renown is far and wide across the country. We all adore him, and we're very glad he's here tonight.
Okay, I think I can go home now. That just about wraps it for me. My gosh, that was, you're wonderful.
My dad was Armenian French, and he used to have a heavy Marseille accent, which is like this, you know, hey, listen, boy, you come here, I can tell you what to do. You come over here, you put the battery in watch. It's going to be okay, don't worry, we fix. Oh, man, what you doing? That was my dad. He said, you got to get a job that you can work at. He goes, get a government job. I said, really, Pop? I want to go to school, and I like electronic stuff. I like working with recording things, microphones, and I used to play with tape recorders all the time. And then I met Deborah. I went on vacation. And we were on an airplane, and there was a gun. There was an ex-president, and cops. So it's a long story. I'll tell you some other time.
He had this green Indiana Jones hat and a green bomber jacket, and had beautiful blue eyes, and I saw him from rows and rows away.
She was sitting on aisle 33 of a plane, and I was walking up, from down the aisle to get to my seat. Happened to be right next to her, which was quite convenient.
Bob's family was an entrepreneurial family, and my family was an entrepreneurial family. And so we both, one of the things we talked about on the plane when we first met was that our goal in life was to marry somebody that was interested in creating a business and doing something together.
Well, then the storm on the plane hit, and it got really nervous. I mean, very, really shaky on the plane. We were going over the Rockies, and you know how planes just dump sometimes. Bob, boom. And she got nervous, and I said, would you like me to hold your hand?
I said yes, of course. I would have crawled on top of him and made a hat out of him if I could have, if he would have let me. I would have crawled on top of the guy.
And I just, what the hell? The poor girl's nervous. She got to stop this, And she didn't say anything. I just put my hand on her hand, and that was that.
I fluff up his shoulder as a pillow.
And she goes, for 2 cents, I think I could just fall asleep on your shoulder right there.
Literally, I lay my head down on his shoulder, and for whatever reason, I literally fell asleep. The second my head hit his shoulder.
She's completely asleep. I mean, dead. So the plane touched down, and she was ready to take off.
So I managed to somehow get off the plane, or I'm heading off the plane, and I hear him behind me saying to the stewardess that he's going to leave the plane, but that he's coming right back.
Fleeing. She was fleeing. And I was like, what the heck?
How is he getting off the plane? He's not supposed to get off the plane. How are they going to let him back on the plane? And I'm thinking, crap, this guy's chasing me down. The airport, tunnel.
When I caught her, I said to her, look, here's my phone number. I'm going to be at this place for about a week. I'm going to be fishing. If you want to connect with me, I don't know what I did wrong, but if I did something wrong, I'm real sorry. But I think you're a real nice person, and I'd really like to get to know you better.
And then my brain said, Deborah, just stop. Just stop. Take the guy's phone number, and then run.
She ended up calling me. Yeah, and then after a month's time, I proposed to her. And the reason I proposed to her is because I knew she was the right girl for me. The way Dion Audio got started was that I was working for a production house in Burbank.
People started giving suggestions, and one person suggested that he check into something called a book on tape. And so Bob came home, and he was on fire for this thing. He had the package in his hand, and he was kind of waving the package, and he said, "Schnook, Schnook, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do with my life. This is what we're gonna do." And so the two of us set off to figure out how in the world we were gonna make these books on tape.
I had a closet, and it was a beautiful closet. It had clothes on both sides of it, and we put a microphone in there. And you know what? It was really good sound.
The clothes would hit here and here, and we did that for, I don't know, 7 years or however long, I mean, a good long time. And those people, we had so much fun with these actors.
Sometimes they'd try on Deborah's clothes, and sometimes they'd, put on things that were crazy, and we'd have actors that just loved to have fun, so it was a very good first step. And then Dion Audio grew from there.
This last year, in October, November, we did over 600 productions from start to finish within a 2-month period of time, which for people in the audiobook business, you'll know that I'm telling you that that's 2 years worth of work that we did in 2 months' time.
In February, we had the party to end all parties. We had a red carpet affair for all of the audio people coming for the Grammys. We have actors galore, people that you've seen on TV and movies, and I'm interviewing people, having a good time, and then I notice something with my leg, and my right leg, and I'm like, ow, that's not good. Finally, after my 5th doctor at Cedars-Sinai, they concluded that I have ALS. And yeah, it's all over. Once ALS hits and it starts swallowing up your entire body, you become basically like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz before he gets the oil. And you're just, oil can, oil can.
Doctors are literally just monitoring your decline, and they have nothing. They got nothing. They got no surgery, no pill, they got nothing for you.
Well, Bob Dion has it now, and Bob is really pissed off about it. Just this ramp alone, $5,000 for aluminum sheets that, it's 2 bridges basically. I don't get these prices, it's just not. And then there's a thing called a Hoyer lift, which you put on your body, you wrap it around your body and you attach it to this little hydraulic pump that lifts you right up out of the chair and puts you, on the commode or in your bed or wherever it needs to put you. That thing is like $2,500. It's a very, very expensive thing to try to make yourself work in this world.
That was just more money than I could even fathom, and I didn't at all think that could possibly be a true figure. But it is.
Nursing care. We have a guy that comes in at night that helps me get into my bed because Deborah can't pick me up. I mean, I weigh 245 pounds now, and it's like, it's a lot of weight, you know? I mean, you can't just pick up dead weight.
I remember the first time Bob fell. He saw that I was absolutely horrified that he fell, and he's laying on the bedroom floor, and he saw how afraid I was and how shocked I was by what had happened. And he thought that he would make light of it and to make it a fun time rather than a scary time for me. And he said, "Honey, go and grab a pillow from the bed and bring it here." And so I did. And he said, "Put half of it under my head, and then you come here and lay on the other half with me." And so he put his arm around me, and we're both laying on the pillow. And I'm scared and shocked and frightened, really. And I'm laying there with him, and he holds my hand, and he starts talking to me about the constellations in the sky. And it's our bedroom ceiling that we're looking up at. And I think I could recant dozens of stories like that where he tried to help me.
We're both adjusting. It's tough, very tough. I love my wife. I want to give her whatever I can, and time seems to be the only thing I can give her right now, and that's the tough thing. Man, was that a night? That was unbelievable.
As much as I loved my wedding day, this one moment in time for me, and I asked Bob about it later, and he says the same, was even more exhilarating and more of a gift than anything I had ever experienced before. And I think my only second runner-up was my wedding day. So it was amazing. And because our peers chose to do this for Bob when he needed it most, he couldn't talk enough about it.
I was going to go up, get the award, and say thank you, a little bit of a speech, go away. It turned into a whole production. I was like, oh my God, these people they had me up on the stage. They made me cry. It was so mean, man.
All right. Come on. What, I gotta cry the whole time?
Well, Bob.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. And that was said by Gehrig, July 4th, 1939. And the reason I'm quoting him is because I have respect for him. I know what he went through and what I'm going through right now. ALS is a very difficult disease. After 5 neurologists did tests on me, they said, "I'm sorry, but you have ALS. It's terminal." And I don't want to bring the party down, but you know what? I'm going to fight this. And my wife and I want to give voice to ALS. Because it's a very silent killer, people will lose muscle function in their legs, and then it goes to the arms, and then it goes to the chest, and eventually the business that I love so much, my voice will go as well. So while I have a voice, I'm going to talk and talk and talk. Okay.
So there are several ALS programs. There's several that I think are quite worthy of people's money if they were to donate towards this cause. The ALS Association is probably the biggest and the most well-known, and they're doing stuff for research, and they're doing stuff to try and help people live with ALS.
You know what? The more people talk about this disease, the sooner it'll get cured. And it's got to be talked about more and more.
There's ALS TDI, which is doing a lot of drug research. They seem to think that drugs are the key to adding more months to somebody's life. And
I think in 10 years from this date, there'll be a cure. But that's from this date, and I'm living in this date right now, which is 2013.
If each one of these, stem cell research trials cost $50-60 million, then easily, it's going to take $1 billion to end ALS, if not more.
I think that's what I want to raise. I want to raise $1 billion. That's it. $1 billion for Bob. Okay? Not million, because it doesn't go with Bob. It doesn't even rhyme with Bob. So $1 billion for Bob. That'll work.
As he recanted that over and over and over to me, I think it inspired me, and it just kind of caught on in my mind that why not? Why not? Why can't we end this thing?
Until then, I want my own Iron Man suit. That's what I want. I want to be able to walk around on my own, be able to fly if I want to, be zero gravity, because this sucks at full gravity on. And $1 billion. That's what we need. I think that's good, right? That's a sound number.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? How much money do we spend on wars and stuff? And we've had this disease for over 75 years. Well, let's screw the wars. Let's fix some people up. They can fight after that if they want. Right?
More people to fight with.
That's right. More people to fight with. God, this is getting dark. I think I'm going to go in the hole.